Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. I'm blessed to live another day, 3rd of Muharram 1442. Alhamdulillah. I wish everybody blessed with good health, longevity, prosperity, and while being in that state, let us continue with our journey to acquire knowledge which is not that accessible unless you watch this video, and therefore please subscribe so that you get my updated post on time, for your disposal, for your learning, for your reference, etc. Now, before I go on, I have to warn somebody here, and probably not you, but some of our other friends. Now, I have written up the warning in Bahasa Malaysia, in Bahasa Melayu in Malaysia, it's called Amaran, and in Deutsche Sprache Achtung. I think you understand that if you speak German, anyway. Now, I implore, please do not, please refrain yourself from watching my video, my channel, especially when you are here. When you are in any mosque listening to the Friday recitation by the Khatib on reading the khutbah, please refrain from watching my video, and please refrain from opening up my channel. If you have to read the Holy Al-Quran using your handphone, carry on. But if you ask me, there are thousands of the Holy Al-Quran in the mosque. I never bring my handphone in the mosque just to recite Al-Quran. All right, so please, my brothers and sisters, Muslim Mu'min fellows, please don't watch my channel when the Khatib especially is reciting the khutbah on Friday, Salat Friday. All right, and all other friends, if you go to places of worships, please do not watch my channel, do not watch my video. And also, if you're in a meeting with your boss or your colleagues or your associates discussing something other than the topic that I'm discussing in this video, please don't turn on my channel and watch the video. Especially bankers, you might miss the interest rates, you know. Or you are driving your car, even in the jam, all right, unless you have you're able to watch it without holding the handphone, carry on. But if you have to hold the handphone, watch my channel, no. Okay. Or you're driving a truck, you know, or you are flying the F-16 fighter jet, do not watch my channel up there. And also, if you're riding your brand new Kawasaki ZX-10RR, do not watch my video, do not watch my channel when you are already over 260 kilometers an hour. And also, last but not least, there are many other things. When your wife calls you to bed, to the bedroom, please don't bring the handphone and my video on. Chuck it away and continue with what you got to do. And of course, when you're occupied with any other thing, do not listen to my video, because my video you need to attend and listen carefully. This is about interpretation. It's not about acting, it's not about film, it's not about Hollywood or Bollywood. All right, so I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So let us move on with the video. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to discuss with you something which is really common. We are having it, but we don't realize that it's chemical. All right, so what am I talking about? Excuse me. Alhamdulillah. I believe you have heard of VOC. It's not a brand new shampoo. It's an abbreviation for volatile organic carbon. All right. And sorry again, excuse me. And Alhamdulillah, we are blessed with VOC, you and me. Our body is containing volatile organic carbon. VOC is not something which is dreaded so much, it's just that, for us, I believe we have heard of volatile organic carbon causing photochemical smoke. All right, so what are they actually? These VOCs are volatile organic carbon or even hydrocarbon. I'm more interested in this one, but for this law, I believe what is uh, striking our interest is the hydrocarbon compound. All right, but for you and me, we generate volatile organic carbon. Look, watch. What am I doing? This is my smell, my body smell. The glands excreted some volatile organic carbon post metabolic processes in the body in the form of sweat. The fat glands, the fat cells are all degraded, generating organic releases in the form of sweat, and it contains some volatile organic carbon. That is how we got our smell from the body. So it can be anywhere. For that reason, we would say there are different types of VOCs and there are different varieties of VOCs. All right, there's huge library archive of VOCs, and it is everywhere. Look, and it is being released into the atmosphere. It is being released into the atmosphere. Yeah, if I don't take my bath for a week in this humid Malaysian tropical climate, summer, around the clock for the entire year, we don't have winter here. And can you imagine if I don't have my bath and remove all the VOCs all over my body? You can tell me the next thing is, Khalid, you stink. Okay, that's how we got our VOC, because it is volatile. When it is volatile, any substance which is volatile, it has got some form of vapor pressure, regardless of their specific gravity or density of matter or compounds it contains. It can be heavy, but it do have vapor pressure, so these gases is being released, and that is called volatile organics or organic carbon that brings us our smell. But for me, what I have right now is a smell of in Malaysia we call it minyak atar, something that we use when we want to go to the mosque. Normally we would dress up ourselves and smell good before our prayer. Now, never mind that. Now, where is it from? Look, I just demonstrate to you that I have volatile organic carbon from my skin, and this is from my skin. I am a living organism. Am I not? I am a living organism. I am an organism. I am organic. So I release organic from my sweat, glands, coming with smell. So in order to cover up the bad smell, I use what is called perfume. and my favorite is minyak atar. The brand I can't tell you, but there are a few strain, and I prefer the smell of kasturi. I'm not sure what they call it in English. You can Google the meaning. All right. Now that is a demonstration of volatile organic carbon, which is biogenic in nature. So leaves, trunks, animals, all these has got their associated trait of volatile organic carbon releases. And this year, due to the COVID-19, I missed my most favorite volatile organic carbon smell coming from the durian musang king. Do you know that right up to this point of time, me and my family who are crazy about durian has not eaten even a slice of durian fruit till this day. Partly is because it's being highly commercialized and the price has increased dramatically due to exports. So people like us are now deprived of of, uh, of buying our favorite durian at the price that we used to enjoy. It is expensive now, so we decided not to. So we decided not to follow the pattern. So we decided not to take that fruit until until the price has really dropped, because it's not a fruit that we cannot go on with life with. We cannot go on with life without. Okay, so it doesn't matter that that is the volatile organic carbon coming from your durian musang king D 24 D12. I don't know. So for me, from the kampong, we love durian kachapuri, durian tembaga, durian emas. These are all the non-hybrid local, well, you can say local hybrid sort of crossbreed durians, and taste very good, smells good. Hmm. So, well, there will be a day that I'll come into having my next durian feast with my family. But for the moment, we just say, we're not going to be the bandwagon where the price is so high. Well, I am trained in forex, but I don't get into forex. So my principles in life is based on my forex knowledge, but I don't do forex due to some religious reasons. Now, let's go into the next sources of organic carbon. Anthropogenic. This is an ecological term whereby some of these volatile organic carbons do come from literally, you can see artificial or man-made activities for from human activities. They use resources from the environment to produce certain things, and these resources are not ubiquitous. It is not in their own nature, but it's been processed into materials, intermediates, to produce some products for human life betterment or for a higher human quality of life. So these are, for example, the oil and gas. It is volatile organics, even the crude oil, and it gets into the cracker, gets into all sorts of gases and liquid, from bitumen tar right up to kerosene, right up to gas. All these carries, all these generates volatile organic carbons, and it has got smell too. And this is an example of anthropogenic types of VOC due to human so-called invention, which is not really invention, human innovation to produce materials which is not natural as it is. It has been transformed chemically, physically to become certain materials, and that material is emitting what you call is having high vapor pressure and is regarded as volatile organic carbon, the anthropogenic type. Got it? Simple, isn't it? But what's the fuss? Why VOCs looks like some crime to the environment? Why is it so significant to an environment, since it is ubiquitous? It is significant. If it's biogenic, it's not so significant, but when it is anthropogenic and when there is demand and supply, catch anything? There's more demand, more production, more materials, artificials, and more generation of volatile organic carbon. And when there is too much of what? Vehicles, which burns fossil fuel in the form of petrol, diesel, the after combustion generate or releases gases, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, etc. And and even hydrocarbon, some of which are actually volatile organic carbon, and it gets suspended in the air in the presence of sun. There's reaction with nitrous. You ask the chemist. I'm not a chemist, and that causes the formation of a kind of layer in the lower atmosphere, just a few 100 feet above the tallest building in our city, a layer of smoke. And especially if the city is a valley, topography, geologically speaking, the topography of that city is actually a valley, whereby air mixture from the different wind direction and other meteorological factors does not promote enough air exchange or literally ventilation around that valley. And this is happening in a place where I'm from, Malaysia, and this is quite evident in Kuala Lumpur. Some people says Kuala Lumpur, but it's actually Kuala Lumpur. That is why I believe there are a lot of effort in promoting public transport to be more convenient to the public so that we can leave our car behind. And there's only one centralized emission that power the electrical energy for those public transport. So it's more a centralized emission rather than right now millions of cars enter the city per day and leaving the city peak hours. All right, and it is causing, it is emitting volatile organic carbon apart from dust and etc., and has caused some level of photochemical smoke. Now, I just found this. I heard some of the VOCs, they are indeed carcinogenic. I believe you know by now what is carcinogenic. It's got nothing to do with Genting Highland, of course. Genting Highland is a casino. So when you like to go to casino, you are not called carcinogenic. All right, because people who are lovely, beautiful, pretty, and they look good in photographs, people call them photogenic. It doesn't mean that when you look good in the casino, you are carcinogenic. Now, carcinogenic here means it can be one of the media, one of the elements, one of the compound that can enter our body and disturb or participate or intervene with our metabolic processes and perform or interrupt or take part in cellular division, rupturing the so-called DNA, our deoxynucleic acid, our genetic codes are being modified, are being cancelled out, or the entire cells die due to these carcinogens, which is toxic, can kill our cell. And naturally, when all these processes happen, our cells die. We have less apparatus called mitochondria that manufacture, that generate energy for our body. So our body gets weaker because more cells die. The rate of cellular dying is much bigger than the rate of cellular regeneration. So we eventually get sick. We have less energy for the immune system. We are susceptible to even the simplest flu, non-COVID, simplest flu, and some other diseases. So this is alarming. This calls for our attention to ensure that some of these volatile organic carbons, which are carcinogenic, do not to be released in the air. And these are all anthropogenic types of VOC. So I hope you understand that not all VOCs are bad. The nature, the ecological cycle has its stoichiometric formula to balance out the VOCs in nature. The problem is you and me. We intervene for the sake of our quality of life. We intervene with ecological cycle and introduce additional load of VOCs, which is non-degradable or not easily degradable. Take a look. I'm showing you, no, look, please do not get me wrong. I'm not good in my chemistry. Now, I didn't do this on my own. I got it from my simple, small research, clandestine style research on my own accord. I found this in the internet, and this is 1,3-butadiene, which I just got to know because before this I'm more into other types of VOC. But when I'm preparing the slides for you today, I saw this and I thought, well, this is what I've been looking for all the while, one specific carcinogen, which is VOC, and it is, look, where does it come from? This is rather disturbing to me. Look, polymer sciences. Come on, you and me, we wear gloves. Look. Now, I just put all this here for you because I'm learning, and that's the first reason. The second reason, I want to appear smart before you, so that you thought I'm smart. Actually, I'm not. So I just want to impress you with all these chemical jargons. All right. So spare me some, spare with me for a while. Look, and my friend, some of you, we are IETS competent person. Now, which chemical that we handle, or which part of the IETS treatment system? Is it from the equalization tank? Is it from the flocculation chamber? It's releasing 1,3-butadiene. You better check it out. Look, fungicides. Excuse me. Look, petrochemical, nylon. Sorry. I mean, talking about petrochemical nylon from oil and gas. All right. Look, polluted, chemical, plastic, or rubber facilities. Oh, yeah, smoking, and from ingesting. This is plenty. This is by far the bulk of our population. What? How many of us in Malaysia, we call it tapau, right? In Malaysia, when we pack foods and bring that we bought from hawkers or restaurant and stalls, we call it tapau, and most of it even using plastic and rubber containers. And now we are using recycled plastic. How is it passing the Food Drug Act? How is that as far as volatile organic carbon, anthropogenic? How much is it? Is it at a threshold value, or is it very low in concentration? What do you think? Now, if you want more information, you can take a look at this part. I got this from the internet, and I am honored to be able to find this internet link. You may look into this link and find out. I'm a member of environmentalexpert.com, but I've not contributed. But hopefully, when my work is stabilized, I would contribute to them, so that many of their members can benefit from it as much as you could. All right. So this is why VOC is significant. All right, and the law legalized VOC in a manner because the production, the release of VOC is inevitable. That is why in some laws, in many laws, they would call it the significant VOC are the non-methane volatile organic carbon. Why? Because methane is ubiquitous. Methane is a natural gas process released from natural biodegradation of organic matter, probably in the absence or in the limited amount of oxygen. In simplistic term, we call it fermentation. Anaerobic processes releases methane. In fact, some of us are doing biogas. Fabulous. Some of you are doing biogas, which is, I think, the best thing that we could ever do. All right. So biogas, something, but there are other school of people who are so concerned about methane to be greenhouse gases. Come on. There's too much of everything can cause greenhouse gases. Now, methane in greenhouse gases that we becomes warm. Look, if you say greenhouse gases makes the atmosphere warm, look around you carefully. In 1930s, 1920s, if I am a drop of rain from the sky, the moment I got into Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, I will be diving onto trees, leaves, higher probability. And as I get to the soil, I become coolant to cool this soil surface. Today, if I'm a drop of water over Kuala Lumpur, 90% chance is I'll be landing on some concrete structure of hotels, buildings, or even the highway, MRR2, Duke, whatever. And as rainwater, I'm smart. I have gradient, I have gravity, which is my rule of thumb. And when there's too much rain, the gravity will pull us to assemble in an assembly point, which then causes flood. Got it? So the world is warm partly because the topsoil of the earth is covered with cement and tar, not because of methane causing greenhouse effects and causing so-called global warming. Think about it. Think about it. Don't get confused when you go into higher learning, all right? But never mind, it's worth debating, okay? So let us go into the next slide. I want to show you something here. Again, I'm trying to impress you with all the chemical names which I'm not so familiar with. All right, now these are all solvents. Look, we are here. Under the law, where is it? This is where the law is legalizing the generation, the emission of volatile organic carbon. How did the law do that? Look, there are two types of VOC. One is halogenated VOC, okay? And if it is halogenated, total organic compound upon analysis shall be less than 20 milligram per cubic meter. Now, what is halogenated? I didn't do well in my chemistry, honestly. I don't get A1 plus, all right? I don't get A plus for it. But I remember a periodic table those days. I think it was more than 40 years ago. Halogens, they are like bromine, correct me if I'm wrong, fluorine, iodine, chlorine, right? Did I say that already? Fluorine, right? These are all halogens, and yttrium. There's a new one, yttrium. Check it out, right? These are halogens, and in environmental sciences, apparently, halogens is really a significant part of the concern. And halogens, why they use halogens? Because of some properties of halogens, stability, and I think high oxidative redox potential. Those are my chemistry. I didn't do well in my chemistry, as I said. Now, look, these are halogenated volatile organic carbon. I didn't memorize it. I get it from the Google. I put it here to impress you so that I look smart. Actually, I'm not, okay? So these are, look, 1 chloro, 2 propene. How many carbon is propene? Methane, propane, butane. Propane is 2, is it supposed to be 2 carbon? So the first carbon has got chlorine atom. So it is 1 chloro, 2 propene. Propane, I can't remember. Propane is supposed to be 3 carbon, isn't it? Okay, all right. So the first carbon has got chlorine. Look, trichloroethylene. This is an alkene, organic chemistry, kaput. 3 chlorine atoms and 1 double bond associated from 1 carbon to the other. All right, and you have trichloro. Because of that chlorine, this is a halogen. Look, this is the halogen. That is why they call it halogenated VOC, and it's a VOC, vinyl chloride. this is a gas that can be polymerized into polyvinyl chloride, making your PVC plastic. So vinyl chloride, I have forgotten the structure. All right, it is also chlorinated, halogenated, VOC, and ethylene dibromide, two bromine, two bromine atom. These are all halogenated VOC, and if it is present when we do stack monitoring or exhaust outlet sampling and monitoring, if we find all this, their concentration prior released out from our building, out from our exhaust, out from our stack into the atmosphere before mixing with the air in the atmosphere, we have got to ensure the concentration is less than 20 milligram per meter cube. If our sampling records higher than 20 milligram per cubic meter, therefore it is understood that we have to build ourselves some form of air pollution control equipment to arrest, to filter, to trap those excess halogenated VOC in a certain filtering media, so that the cleaner air would be exhausted out into the atmosphere at concentrations lower than 20 meter cube per 20 milligram per cubic meter. I hope that is simple. And there's another one, non-halogenated. These are normal, and some of it is biogenic, and the law says less than 150 milligram per cubic meter. What are they? Look, benzene, non-halogenated, ethanol, formaldehyde, even though they are carcinogenic, even though some of them are neurotoxin, cyclohexane, acetone. This one is known to affect our neurons of our nervous system and many more. These are so-called non-halogenated volatile organic carbon, which is allowed to be released into the air, into the atmosphere at levels below 150 milligram per cubic meter. And these are, I have some pictures here of the so-called anthropogenic origin of volatile organic carbon. What you see here in these drums, these are all enamel. Enamel is a solution based from solvent xylene, toluene, which is mixed with varnish. And varnish is a mixture of solvent again with pigment and a few other things. Okay, and these are all volatile organic carbon. You can find this in a very common product that you and me use every day. This one. This is our power cord. You remove this plastic covering, but please don't do it until it's kaput. Take the old one, remove it. You will see wire which is golden yellow in color, right? And that wire is actually coated with this. This is called enamel varnish. Why? To lower down the loss of conductance, so that it has got less, it has got more electrical flow. All right, so to reduce the loss of electrical, what they call dissipation from the circuit. So that is, in other words, we call it insulation. Okay, primary insulation before coating it with a PVC. So Look, these are all industrial, one sample of industrial process that releases artificial, or shall I say artificial, if you don't mind. Normally, the ecologists would call it anthropogenic, man-made, man-derived, man-originated VOC. And it is stable in the atmosphere, and you and me, we are responsible for it because we want a life in such a manner, and we are paying for it. And it's an expensive price to pay. We inhale air outside. We live in an industrial area, and we are inhaling air which contains carcinogens. Can you imagine that? And we don't see them as much as we can't see COVID-19 virus. See the point? So for that reason, we should be putting ourselves in deeper thought what we want in life as far as development is concerned, as far as to enjoy our life on earth, to ensure we get the right food, we do the right thing, we get the right house. The way we build house is not the way we're supposed to build. I have some drawings, but I'm a nobody, and no one would listen to me except for a few, and they're working on it. Okay, and doesn't matter that I have passed the baton to someone whom I believe is honest enough to pursue into the knowledge, and I don't take any credit for that because I'm not interested to. Look, phosphating. I believe you know this, right? Phosphating. What is this? Look, these are all having vapor pressure. And some solution is a combination of, what is this? Minerals for our, I heard my cat around here. Yeah, doesn't matter. There are hydroxyamine. Is an amine. You know what amine is, chemist? You know how safe is amine? All right, so these are all the important materials that we have around us in industrial area, and the more the demand, the higher the population, yeah, the more will be produced, the more products will be produced, the more will be emitted into the atmosphere until we find something else. What do you think? Okay, so far? So what do we got to do? Comply to the law? Yeah, the law is strong, is best. In fact, the law is legalizing. Now I'm answering the question. The law is legalizing the emission of volatile organic carbon in that manner. But how? Next question is how? Look, this is the best the law can do. These are all coming from practices developed from people having good brains and common sense. And it's all common sense. What we do is, when we have got sources of solvent, say from, so say, look, this is talking about fugitive. What is fugitive? Fugitive is not those people who escape from Alcatraz. That's another form of fugitive. This is an environmental fugitive, whereby this non-methane volatile organic carbon or any other form of impurity that has escaped being captured from air pollution control equipment, then we call it fugitive, or in a process whereby it is impossible for us to contain these gases. So it is being released, then we call it fugitive. It's not able to be contained, then we call it fugitive. They don't come from the prison. Now, I tell you what, you have filled up today. The petrol price in Malaysia is up by 3 cents. Well, okay, now last night the entire Malaysian population, I think, went to the petrol kiosk and conveniently bought themselves RON 95, 97, so that they can save 3 cents for the week, and next week the price dropped 10 cents. Now remember, you pour in the petrol at the petrol kiosk, you open up, the moment you open up the petrol lid, you can smell petrol, right? That is called volatile organic carbon. And very likely the majority of the VOC that come out, as you could smell the petrol smell, that is basically benzene. That is what has made benzene volatile organic carbon. And you can smell it because it escaped the containment. Why it escaped? It has got higher vapor pressure. It has a lower boiling point. Okay, so those are physical chemistry. Study from them. I'm not a chemist. I learn from them. Now take a look. What I'm trying to show you is, look, the law says this is talking about petrol kiosks, this is talking about industrial processes, this is talking about, like, if you have got to mix solvent in a paint manufacturing plant, you have these issues. Or if you have got to do textile industry work, yarn cleaning and etc., using solvent, or even laundry, so many things. In factories, you do use solvent in many processes, including printing of carton box, printing industry, etc. So what the law says, if we are using solvent, look, in storage and handling, during our storage and handling, the law is promulgating this. We try our best to do it in a closed system. Look, and the law says we need to have a abatement device. What is it? Vapor arrestor, a kind of filtration. It could be physical filtration, or it could be some form of electrical filtration by using electrostatic charges. Whatever it is, all right? Simple as physical filtration, including I developed activated carbon for absorbing volatile organic carbon. It worked. I don't have to pay so much. And I have given this design to a few people, and they're doing it already. All right, so cheap. And I told these people, go to the rural areas of Malaysia. There's a lot of coconuts. Use the coconut shell, pulverized coconut shell, and turn that into activated carbon. They are doing it now. The credit goes to people who do it, not where it comes from. All right. So vapor recovery system, another kind of arrestor. All right. It could be some form of adsorbent material, adsorbent, or in some form of a scrubber, whatever. But I believe you have done this in some of you might be working in these factories, so you know what it is. And sources of VOC, solvent residue. Look, when we clean apparatus in a tank of solvent, there are some residue. Okay, and the law only says there is no concentration or flow rate. The law only says best available technique, economically achievable. This is one of them. This is based in practice. Look, the law says do it in a closed system. There you go. Got it? Now, pumps, compressor, especially in factories. Okay, in oil refinery, they have got to pump out petrol from oil refinery to the lorries. Some of them are using passive pressure, which is good. Some construction site, for example, do have skid tank, a diesel tank, and the pumps and compressors. You and me, we know well. I've been doing audit for almost 20 years, and my experience in environmental sciences 36 years. You know well, I know too, okay? What's the problem? Like, look, it is always kaput. It is always ruptured, you know? It is always leaking, in other words. And we don't, and in most instances, we don't arrest them. We don't address them immediately. And when we ask for budget from our boss, the finance manager, the normal thing they would say in Bahasa Malaysia, pakai sampai rosak. What does it mean? Use it until it's broken. And the day come when it really got broken and we are about to change it, DOE, 2-3 trucks come in, visit us. At that point, my suggestion, you better tell DOE the name of that procurement manager who doesn't approve, or even your MD. Go and find the MD. He doesn't approve the budget. He said, pakai sampai rosak. Now, he got to answer. And that is the point when I'm telling competent person, you better know how to do your job. Okay? Don't waste your time because your job is associated with legal liability. Nothing to be proud of. All right? So take a look. Now, we have got, we probably have filled up ourselves with petrol this morning, or last night actually. Service station. Do you find this? My friend, do you find this at petrol station? Petrol pump station? When you fill up the tank of your car with an additional 3 cents per liter today, the 3rd of Muharram, 22nd of August. Yeah, okay. Do you see any hood on top of the nozzle that you put into your car? Does the nozzle come with a hood that suck in volatile organic carbon, the vapor from petrol, so that you don't smell anything? The entire period when we are pumping the petrol, we smell the petrol, and that is benzene. And my friends, it is carcinogenic. You don't have to learn how to gamble. You don't have to go to Genting Highland, but this is carcinogenic, which is causing cancer, not from the casino. All right, you got it? Okay, so last but not least, this is the reason why I wash my own clothes. Even though it's a bush jacket, we do it ourselves. We soak all our clothes using nice surfactant. Sometimes I have to make my own detergent, surfactant from ananas, especially, and it worked very well. So those who have attended my training, I think, knows me by now. Those who are new to me, welcome to the club. You can get to know me, but try not to get to know me. Get to know what I'm delivering here in this video. All right, what is it? Look, they are using what? I'm asking you a question. When you go to this laundry shop, have you ever asked for the materials that they use to clean up your clothes? What sort of solvent are they using? Have you asked for the SDS, MSDS, or CSDS? Is it stated in the receipt of your purchase for the service? Why don't we want to know about it? And we get this clothes, what we do is we smell it. It smells fresh. It smells like warm and fresh, and we do not know what we have inhaled into our lungs as we get out of the laundry, smelling our attires, which is just being laundried. Okay. So they got to have to install filters. They got filters. Have you seen this before? Look, they have got to install it. What? 20 gram of solvent per kilogram clean. They have got to use less than 20 gram of solvent per kilo of clothes that they are processing in the laundry. Have you asked them? The next time you go to a laundry, can you ask them this? Can I know how much solvent do you use per kilo of clothes that you are dry cleaning? Have you asked that question? Maybe after watching this slide, it's about time. If they don't do this, you know what? It is a crime under Malaysian Constitution. They can be penalized by the DOE under Regulation 13, Second Schedule, Subclause 3, Subclause A, called Fugitive Emissions of Non-Methane Volatile Organic Carbon into the Air. We can make a police report stating that particular laundry services fail to tell us how much solvent they have used in order to dry clean our clothes per kg, and failing to tell that to us is a crime. So we can do a police report and send it to DOE. You think we want to do that? Or let DOE find out themselves and do their work. I've got no comment, but many of us doesn't know that despite the fact that the VOC release into the air is legalized, but there are some responsibility involved. Why? Carcinogen. The VOC causes cancer, and the doctors, you and me, put the blame on something else. I'm talking about VOC in the air, and we never stop inhaling until we die. And do we have any SDS of the air quality that we breathe in the first place? Or you get into a building, a hotel, did the hotel give you the air quality report indoor for that hotel to tell you that, okay, this hotel is free from VOC? Think about it. As I said, I'm not that friendly. Yes, I'm showing my unfriendliness. I hope you like it. So, Yang Berhormat, the younger generations of environmentalists, watch out for this. You worked hard, you studied your chemistry, but what for? For the salary? Forget it. You're not paid your knowledge, unless you let the knowledge pay for you. Use the knowledge and you get paid. All right, use the knowledge to handle all this. And then there will be merciful. His merciful will bless you with knowledge, good outcome of the knowledge, and good use of the knowledge, and for the environment, that will be ultimate priority. So I believe that's about it that we could discuss in this particular session. I thank you for your time. Uh, I thank you for watching, and it is not a full stop to this knowledge with what you have heard. I want you to think, gather as much information, and get deeper. I didn't go deep. You get deeper and discover all the sources and publish it and make a video about it and teach people how to avoid it. All right, that is what we're supposed to do now. So I thank you for your time. If you have not subscribed and you think it's important, do subscribe. Please subscribe, and you'll get this. And there's a notification button. You got to press it so that when I upload, you'll get notified. When YouTube upload it to you, you'll get notified. And I thank you, YouTube, as well, for this nice platform that I'm able to share my knowledge with everybody who is related to applied environmental sciences and management. And we are discussing the law which is governing environmental sciences at the moment. So thank you for the time. As a Muslim, I wish everybody Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a nice day, have a nice life, and take care of ourselves, and do think when you listen to all this. Bye bye.